Okay, so this section is extremely important here. This section, I'll be talking about the training rules that you should implement in your training system. Now, these are not required training rules from me, but these are very common training rules that I think every trader should implement in their training system. You need to have rules at least of some sort that are, I guess, dynamic and suitable for your training system because, again, these rules will differ depending on how you're trading. You're a swing trader, day trader, scalper, different strategies. A lot of these will change and depend a lot. So that's why I put X's there so you guys can put in a certain value and amount that you guys think fits your trading style and strategy. But these training rules, first of all, you should not just list them, but you should actually take action and be disciplined every single day enough to follow them. So you should not just be listing them here and just look at them once in a while. Some people, what I recommend is you can even put a sticky note on your monitor while you're trading, or even write your rules down on your chart. Literally, you type the rules on your chart as you're day trading and look at them. This allows you to face them head on and look at your rules. If you break these rules, you can even give yourself consequences. I'm not gonna say punish yourself, but you can. There's things called negative. I forgot the exact word for it, but negative reinforcements, I believe, or negative punishments that you guys can utilize so that if you break a rule, let's say for example, break one of your rules or two of your rules, you give yourself certain punishments. For example, I have to run a mile today. I have to run 2 miles today. You have to give you certain punishments that actually benefit you in another aspect outside of trading that you don't want to do. For example, don't eat ice cream today. If you like ice cream, don't eat ice cream today. Don't eat any desserts or any snacks today. If you like snacks, this kind of forces you into this mentality of, okay, I need to stick to my training plans, and forces you to stick to your rules. Everyone's training rules, again, will differ based on personality as well and the way they trade. So create rules that make the most sense to your training style and master them. For me personally, I've already mastered my psychology in terms of I'm able to control my emotions very well. And so these rules, I do have rules in my training system, and I don't really think about them that often because I already have it under control. It's ingrained in my brain, these rules, so I don't have to list them down anymore. But this is something definitely if you're beginning for trading, definitely have in your system. So common rules you guys can implement in your trading system is maximum number of trades per day. Extremely important. This depends a lot. For example, if you're scalping, some people I've seen scalp 50 trades a day, which is absurd to me, but some people definitely do that and they are very profitable while doing that. So again, depending on the trading system, maximum number of trades per day. This actually helps also prevent you from overtrading. Overtrading is when you're forcing too many trades a day and just taking not the high quality setups. In my opinion, based on my training system, my training strategy, I told you guys and taught you guys about, there for a given asset, there's no more than I would say 3 high quality A+ trading setups per day. So typically, I would try to maximize the number of trades I take on a certain asset to 3. Now, again, like I mentioned, I said certain asset because every asset has different opportunities. So you can have, a lot more opportunities in other assets. But again, I wouldn't recommend trading every single asset you see. You want to focus and narrow down on certain assets you are good at and profitable at trading. So there's that. You also want to maximum the number of losses in a day, right? So this again depends on how much you're risking. If you count how much your risk tolerance truly is, and it should be a reasonable amount. But this allows you to not go on a tilt where when you're on a losing streak in a single day, if you're still sitting there staring at the charts, you're more likely to make bad emotional decisions and continue losing trade after trade after trade. So this definitely helps prevent you from going off a losing streak and tilt. Next thing is having your maximum percent drawdown on account in a day, similar to number of losses, but this is more so specific in terms of drawdown. This takes into consideration of basically how big your losses are. So if you had one big loss that day, rather than having a maximum number of losses in a day, you should just stop trading after that big loss because you already lost a big percent on that account. Next thing is risking only a percent per trade. This is probably one of the most important rules that you should have. Actually, this is the most important rule you should have. You should definitely only risk a certain percent per trade and stick to that percent. If you're risking different percents per trade, this is a mistake I made early on in my career. No matter what your risk reward ratio is, if you're risking a different percent of your account per trade, it's going to mess up your whole entire trading system and it's not going to work. Okay. You need to be consistent and risk the same percent per trade. Because let's say, for example, for instance, let's say you risk 1% you trade on the first trade. In second trade, you risk 3%. But the first trade you took was a winning trade. The second trade you took was a losing trade. Now that losing trade, despite having a better risk reward ratio or a high risk reward ratio, it eats up the winner because you risk 3 times the size of your winning trade. Meaning your risk reward ratio has to be 3 times the size to even break even. For example, if your losing trade was roughly 1-to-1 and your winning trade is 1-to-3, well, guess what? Because you risk 3% per trade on your losing trade, you are technically break even or even at a loss because of spread and many other things. So that's definitely something you want to take into consideration. And last but not least is if the setup doesn't meet this criteria, don't take it. This is the second most crucial thing behind risking percent. I would say actually these two are equally important because you only want to take A+ quality setups that meet your criteria. Now, each person's training setup and strategy criteria are different. So every single person has a different number of criteria, different type of criteria. So you want to backtest your criteria, see what works best, what has the highest profitability rate, profitability factor, right? Again, we talked about this earlier, win rate and risk reward ratio. What criteria setup has the best risk reward ratio and the best win rate combined, creating a good profit factor. So something you want to backtest and live test as much as you can. And once you have this criteria built down, ingrained in your brain, it's like muscle memory. For me, it's muscle memory. I know my exact criteria when I see it and I enter. I know exact percent I'm risking and I enter. I know max percent drawdown I am basically willing to take before I stop trading. That's it. That's it. All right. So that's basically going to be it, I believe, for this section. Let's see. There you go. So congratulations. You guys have finally made it to the end of the Day Trading Essential Traders University course. Very proud of you guys. You guys should all be proud of yourself that you have taken a lot of notes, hopefully, and learned a lot from this course for sure, because I even learned in this, well, not really learned, but more so I was able to recall a lot of things previously into my brain that I was, just not remembering before. So this is really important, but I want to say congratulations to everyone that's made it this far into the course. This is a lot of content that I covered, and I truly believe that as you guys practice and continue executing each and every single day, showing up to the market, being disciplined, practicing every single thing I taught you guys along with the technicals, but not only that, but you want to also make sure to focus on psychology, trade management, good trading system, and all these things. I will truly believe that you can become a very profitable trader in the long run. And again, this is all up to you. Each person is different. Each person's success is different. Everything is up to you. It's up to you whether you determine you are profitable in the future or not. Your actions will determine whether you are profitable or not, and in how long of a time span. So that's something you want to take into consideration. Now that you've finished the comprehensive guide to profitability in trading, well, you may ask, what now? Great, I got an answer for you. So here are my recommended steps that you should highly recommend you take now if you haven't already. Number 1 is opening a demo account, which is Fake Funds. And I highly recommend you do this because this allows you to practice executing trades and understand how to use these platforms so you guys can get familiar with that. Number 2 would be to create a trading system and plan. You want to know, what strategies am I going to use? What's the average reward size, win rate of the strategy? So you want to be back testing your strategy and taking objective data and seeing how profitable it truly is. And creating trading system and plan also includes, again, like I mentioned, rules that you set for yourself. These can be later on, I guess, developed more in depth as you get more advanced into trading. But these are definitely things you want to develop early on. These are things that I was not told. I didn't have a mentor early on. So I had to learn these things the hard way. But I'm telling you guys, now that you guys paid for this course, you have made a great investment into your future for sure. Now you guys have learned this, you are going to save a ton more money from what I call market tuition. All right. Number 3 would be, obviously, again, like I mentioned, backtesting your strategy. And the next thing you want to do is start getting comfortable with executing trades live on your demo account and your preferred charting platform. I would recommend doing this for at least 1 month before you start moving on to the next thing. All right. So the next thing is also, while you're doing this, you should be actually journaling your trades and continuing collecting data until you find solid profitability while executing trades live on the demo account. Once you find this profitability and real data and good consistency that you think you're very comfortable with, you want to move on and open a real account with actual funds. And I highly recommend you start off with an amount you're comfortable losing. People quit trading early on most times because they risk way too much money. They put way too much money in their first accounts that they're not willing to lose. That's just straight up. That's why they lose. That's why 9% fail, because half of those people, or even more than those people, lose too much money in the beginning and they haven't even became profitable yet. So that's something I highly recommend. Next thing is continue trading on this real account with the same training system, training strategy, same thing you did on demo, but now you're incorporating psychology and building great habits. Okay, so you want to be present in the moment in live journaling and doing everything you possibly can to master your mind. Once you master your mind, it becomes almost like muscle memory, and you won't have to worry as much about psychology. Once you find consistent long-term results with the real account, you can then start scaling with more money that you're more comfortable trading with. And once you're more comfortable trading with this money, you are able to scale. And when you scale, you're able to make more money. Now, once you master everything covered in this course and execute live properly with profitability, you have achieved literally a lifelong skill of making money whenever, wherever you want. And when just wherever you can be in on vacation, whatever time, depending on if you're trading forex or not. Forex you trade 24/5. You can make money whenever and wherever you want. You have full freedom, not only financially but also time freedom. Remember, if you're still struggling trading, just know that you're just one trade away. You're just one step away. The light is, you're in a dark, you may be in dark tunnel now, but the light is approaching. As long as you're working hard, grinding every single day, putting discipline at first and following your training plan and having a proper training system, you will become profitable no matter what. It is up to you that determines whether you will become profitable. That's the thing. So this is a battle of you versus you. So that's literally going to be it for this course. That's the end for this course. If you guys have any questions on this course, definitely make sure to reach out to me. I would love to answer all of your questions that I have not covered. If I haven't covered in this course, I covered basically everything that I can think of in this course that I have learned from my time from trading through the ups and downs that I've went through the hardships I went through, learning everything the hard way, which allows me to teach you guys this stuff ahead of time so you guys don't have to go through what I had to go through to become profitable. So again, that's going to be it for the course. Hope you guys really did enjoy this course. And again, all the recordings, you guys feel free to rewatch everything. And I would highly recommend rewatching again if you think it was too much content at one time. Take your notes, review your notes, and let's get straight into the journey to profitability together. Let's make money together. And again, if you guys are looking for a group chat to join Essential Traders University, we do have a Discord paid group chat for signals or paid members that are interested, or we also have the free Discord that you can feel free to join and collaborate with other future potential profitable traders. So I'll see you guys in there.